You see her standing close to you. The moment feels warm, real, almost perfect. You hug her, but inside, something feels off. You're trying too hard. Your mind is racing. You want her to feel something strong, but instead, you feel like you are slowly losing control of the moment. And the truth is, most men don't lose attraction because they lack effort. They lose attraction because they give too much of it in the wrong way. Right now, you might think that showing more attention, sending more messages, or always being available will make her want you more. It feels logical, it feels safe. But attraction doesn't grow from safety alone. It grows from emotional strength. And emotional strength is calm, quiet, and confident. Later in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why the moment you stop chasing, everything begins to change. And I will also explain the hidden shift that happens inside her mind when she feels your absence, not as rejection, but as quiet confidence. Most men never understand this, and that is why they stay stuck in the same cycle. Silence feels hard because your mind tells you that doing nothing means losing. You feel like if you stop reaching out, she will forget you. If you stop trying, someone else will take your place. But what you don't realize yet is that chasing too much often creates the very distance you are trying to avoid. When you constantly reach for someone's attention, you slowly communicate something without saying a word. You communicate that you are unsure of your own value. You communicate that you are afraid to lose the connection, even before it has fully formed. And fear is never attractive. Strong presence beats loud effort. When you truly understand this, everything changes. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Silence is emotional stability. It shows that your world does not collapse just because someone takes a little longer to reply. It shows that you respect your own time, your own energy, and your own life. Many men believe attraction is built by constant talking, constant explaining, constant proving. But real attraction often grows in the space between interactions, in the moments where curiosity has room to breathe, in the moments where she begins to wonder what you are doing, instead of always knowing. And yes, that space can feel uncomfortable at first because you are used to feeling productive when you are doing something. Sending a message feels like progress. Checking her status feels like connection. But sometimes, progress comes from restraint. Sometimes, power comes from patience. Later, I will explain the exact emotional trigger that makes a woman start leaning toward you instead of away from you, even when you are not saying anything at all. Most people completely misunderstand this part, and they ruin their chances by acting too quickly. You don't need to disappear to play games. This is not about manipulation. This is about emotional self-respect. When you stop chasing, you stop negotiating your worth. You stop asking for attention, and you start allowing connection to come naturally. Strong presence beats loud effort. Think about the energy of someone who is constantly trying to impress. They speak too fast, they reply too fast, they explain too much. Everything feels slightly forced, slightly anxious, slightly unbalanced, and even if their intentions are good, the feeling is heavy. Now think about someone who is calm in their actions. They don't rush, they don't over-explain, they don't try to fill every silence. Their energy feels stable, grounded, easy to be around. That calm confidence creates emotional safety. And emotional safety builds attraction. Chasing often comes from the fear of losing the opportunity. But when you act from fear, you give away your strongest advantage, your composure, your emotional independence, your natural mystery. When you constantly try to secure someone's attention, you unintentionally lower your position in the dynamic. Not because you care, but because you show that your focus is centered entirely on them, instead of your own purpose. Attraction grows when two people choose each other, not when one person tries to convince the other. And here is something most people will never say directly. When a woman feels that your happiness depends completely on her responses, she feels pressure. And pressure slowly removes the natural excitement from the interaction. Because attraction thrives in freedom, not obligation. When you give someone space, you also give them the chance to feel your absence. And absence, when combined with confidence, creates curiosity. Curiosity leads to emotional investment. Emotional investment creates connection. But this only works when the silence comes from strength, not insecurity. Silence should never feel like punishment. It should feel like peace. You are not stepping back because you are afraid. You are stepping back because you know your value does not decrease in quiet moments. You trust that what is real does not require constant pressure. Strong presence beats loud effort. In the next part, we are going deeper into the subtle behaviors that quietly increase attraction without forcing anything. The small shifts in energy that completely change how a woman feels when she is close to you, especially in physical moments like a hug, where emotions are felt more strongly than words. Stepping back is not about creating distance for the sake of distance. It is about changing the emotional dynamic. When you stop reaching out every time you feel the urge, something subtle begins to shift. The pattern breaks, the rhythm changes, and when the rhythm changes, attention naturally follows. Human psychology is deeply connected to perception of value. When something feels constantly available, the mind relaxes around it. It assumes the access will always be there. But when something feels balanced, not distant, not desperate, the mind begins to pay closer attention. It starts to notice what it may lose instead of what it can always have. This is why stepping back often creates a stronger emotional response than stepping forward too quickly. It allows curiosity to grow naturally. It allows her to feel the difference between constant attention and meaningful attention. Strong presence beats loud effort. When you stop reaching out all the time, her mind does not simply forget you. In many cases, it begins to process you differently. She starts to notice the quiet space where your energy used to be. She starts to feel the absence of constant validation, and that absence creates a small emotional question, a question that slowly grows stronger. She may begin to wonder what you are doing. She may begin to notice that you are not reacting the way most people react. You are not trying to force conversation. You are not trying to demand reassurance. And that calm restraint communicates something powerful without words. It communicates stability. Emotional stability is rare, and rare things attract attention. When someone senses that your mood does not depend entirely on their responses, they feel less pressure and more curiosity. They feel free, but they also feel the subtle desire to understand you more. They want to know what holds your focus, what gives you purpose, what creates your calm. Strong presence beats loud effort. Of course, knowing this does not automatically remove the urge to reach out. The urge can feel strong. Sometimes your mind will try to convince you that sending just one message will create relief. Sometimes it will tell you that silence means losing connection. But most of the time, that urge is simply discomfort asking for quick relief. And quick relief often creates long-term frustration. Instead of reacting immediately, give yourself space to observe the feeling. When the urge to text appears, pause, take a breath, let the moment pass without action. Urges are temporary. They rise, they peak, and they fall. You do not need to obey every emotional impulse. One practical way to manage this is to delay your response intentionally. Tell yourself that if you still want to send the message after 1 hour, you can decide then. Most of the time, the intensity will fade. The emotional pressure will reduce, and you will think more clearly. Another powerful shift is to change where your attention goes during the day. Attraction grows when your life feels full, not when your focus feels narrow. When your mind revolves around one person, every small change feels bigger than it really is. Every delayed reply feels heavy. Every silence feels personal. But when your days contain purpose, movement, progress, connection with your own goals, your emotional balance becomes stronger. You stop measuring your value through someone else's level of attention. Strong presence beats loud effort. Focus on building a daily rhythm that strengthens your confidence naturally. Move your body, improve your environment, learn something new, work on skills that create long-term pride. Spend time with people who respect your energy. Invest in habits that make you feel sharper, calmer, more grounded. When your life feels structured, Your emotions become more stable. And emotional stability is deeply attractive because it signals maturity. It shows that you do not collapse under uncertainty. It shows that your identity is not dependent on constant reassurance. Stepping back does not mean you stop caring. It means you start choosing where your energy goes. It means you become selective, intentional, aware of your own standards. Many people believe attraction is built by giving more and more attention, but attraction often grows when attention is given with intention, not anxiety. When your communication comes from calm interest instead of fear of losing, the entire feeling changes. Your words feel lighter, your presence feels easier, the interaction feels balanced instead of pressured. Strong presence beats loud effort. Another important shift happens internally. When you stop chasing, you begin to reconnect with your own pace. You stop rushing moments. You stop overthinking every response. You stop trying to control every outcome. And control is often the hidden source of emotional tension. When you allow connection to unfold naturally, you create space for genuine interest to appear. Interest that is not forced, not negotiated, not chased. People value what feels natural because natural connection feels safe. It feels real. It feels free from pressure. You are not trying to disappear. You are simply refusing to abandon your own priorities in order to secure someone's attention. When your attention has direction, your presence has weight. And when your presence has weight, your absence has impact. Strong presence beats loud effort. As we move forward, you will begin to understand how this grounded energy influences even small physical interactions. Moments where words are not the main language. Moments where subtle confidence communicates more clearly than explanation. Moments where the way you hold space, even in something as simple as a hug, can shape how attraction grows or fades. When you begin to step back with calm confidence, something honest begins to happen. The situation starts to reveal itself without force. Silence has a way of removing confusion. It removes the noise, the guessing, the overthinking. What remains is truth, and truth always brings clarity, even when clarity feels uncomfortable at first. Sometimes, when you stop reaching out, they come back with more interest. The energy feels different. The conversations feel more balanced. There is more curiosity from their side, more effort, more presence. And this is where many people make a mistake. They become so relieved that the connection is returning that they immediately give away all their structure again. When someone comes back, you do not rush. You do not suddenly become available every second. You stay grounded in the same calm rhythm you created because the goal was never to create distance. The goal was to create balance. Strong presence beats loud effort. If they reach out, respond with warmth, but not urgency. Let the interaction grow naturally. Do not overinvest too quickly just because the attention feels good again. Consistency reveals more than intensity. Give the connection time to show you its real shape. Boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are clarity. They show what you accept and what you do not accept. They show that your attention is valuable and given with intention. When your pace is steady, the interaction feels emotionally safe instead of emotionally overwhelming. You do not need to prove interest by sacrificing self-respect. Interest is shown through presence, not pressure. Watch how they communicate. Watch if their actions match their words. Watch if the energy feels mutual, not one-sided. When someone truly values the connection, effort flows naturally from both sides. You will not feel like you are constantly pulling the interaction forward alone. Strong presence beats loud effort, but there is another possibility. Sometimes they do not come back. Sometimes the silence continues. And this is where your strength becomes even more important, because silence still reveals truth, even when the truth is not what you hoped for. If someone does not return your energy, that information protects your time. It protects your emotional investment. It protects your future. Because real connection does not require endless persuasion. Real connection does not require constant chasing. Closure does not always come from conversation. Sometimes closure comes from acceptance. Acceptance that not every connection is meant to continue. Acceptance that your value does not decrease simply because one situation did not develop the way you imagined. Walking forward with dignity creates space for something better to enter your life. When you hold your standards, you protect your emotional stability. When you protect your emotional stability, your confidence becomes natural, and natural confidence attracts healthier connections. Strong presence beats loud effort. You are not defined by who stays or who leaves. You are defined by how you respond. Do you abandon your self respect to keep someone's attention, or do you maintain your calm direction, regardless of the outcome? Because the truth is simple, silence reveals interest, or it reveals misalignment. Both outcomes are useful. Both outcomes give you clarity. Both outcomes move you closer to the right connection. When you stop chasing, you allow people to show you their genuine level of investment. You allow actions to speak without interference. You allow attraction to form naturally or fade honestly. And honesty always leads to stronger foundations. Here is the fast reminder: chasing creates pressure. Pressure reduces attraction. Stepping back creates space. Space creates curiosity. Curiosity creates emotional movement. Emotional movement creates connection. When the interest is real, if they come closer, keep your pace balanced. Let consistency build trust. Do not rush the process. Let actions confirm intention. If they do not come closer, accept the information with calm strength. Do not chase clarity that is already visible through behavior. Move forward with dignity. Redirect your focus toward growth, purpose, experiences that expand your life. Strong presence beats loud effort. One clear action step you can apply today is simple. For the next 7 days, focus more on improving your daily structure than improving someone's opinion of you. Strengthen your routine, strengthen your mindset, strengthen your discipline. Let your attention build a life that feels solid, with or without constant validation. Because when your life feels meaningful, you stop chasing attention. You start attracting alignment. And when alignment appears, connection feels easy, not forced. Silence is not empty. Silence is revealing. Silence shows effort. Silence shows intention. Silence shows emotional maturity. And emotional maturity is deeply attractive because it creates stability, and stability creates trust. Strong presence beats loud effort. Stay calm in your actions. Stay clear in your standards. Stay grounded in your self-respect. The right connection will recognize your energy without needing constant explanation. And when you are ready, watch the next video to understand the subtle behaviors that quietly increase attraction in everyday moments without saying a word.